All right, guys, welcome to our March, holy moly, director call for the month. I just returned from home office and I definitely picked up a few new things that I can't wait to teach you guys and implement with you guys. But I figured we have a guest speaker on today's call, Home Office Field Development Manager Judy Joel, for those of you guys that I think everybody knows who Judy is. So I thought since we just got to spend a little bit of time together, I thought I would have her just come on and maybe give us her best tips and practices as we gear for our big month to keep our senior executive title this month. And just if you guys are wondering, I actually asked Darla to come on. Darla is like 60% promoted this month. So I figured, you know what, just pop on in and just see what you can join officially next month. So yeah, Judy, go ahead.
All right, well, thanks, Claudia. Hi, everybody. I hope everybody is doing great today on this beautiful Monday morning as we go into the second week of March, and I know that you all have amazing plans. You know, Claudia's kind of downplaying her role. She went into our Lead Plus seminar this week, and it was really so fun for me to be with Claudia from Thursday to Saturday night this week and just really enjoy some time together. But Claudia was actually our featured speaker at our Lead Plus seminars, a 3-time Lead Plus graduate, as a Circle of Honor achiever. She knocked it out of the park. We are getting so many emails, so many posts to our Lead Plus Facebook page, and they really connected with you, Claudia. So a great big thank you from me to you for taking your time to join us and to share your love for this business and share your belief in them that anything is possible with the Pampered Chef, right? And so something else she probably hasn't told you, Claudia has been asked to be the featured speaker at Canada's national conference this year. She hasn't accepted yet, but I figure if I tell enough people, she's going to have to say yes. So, Canada does their national conference in August, and they were looking for a speaker, and they said that they would love to have Claudia speak at their national conference. It's going to be in Niagara Falls, so she is going to be also doing that. So you guys are blessed to have her. Just want to say you're so lucky to have her in your own back pocket every single day to learn from her. I will tell you that if you follow her lead, you will have success in your business because in my mind, Claudia is just an A student, right? She came to Lead Plus for the first time. She sat there, she listened, she took it in. She said, why not me? She implemented everything that we taught. And here you are as a team 3 years later. Most of you didn't even know her 3 years ago. Here you are as a team 3 years later, part of the top 20 teams in the entire nation in annual sales, in growth, in director promotion. There are only, in the entire country, there are only 6 and 16, so 22 senior executive, there's 6 senior executive teams and 16 national executive teams, right? And I know we're talking about senior executive today, but the fact is you're going to national executive. You will be the next national executive team. But we just have to get this over this hurdle in March 1st, right? So this is your last month for SED, and you have some things happen in your organization. You had some directors decide that it wasn't the right time for them. And I know that you've all been working together as a team to make sure you ensure that status as a senior executive team. And March is the month to make it happen, right? And if every single one of you as directors of this organization play an important role in making that happen. And your role is, how do you inspire and influence your consultants and help them understand what a big deal it is to be part of this growing organization, to be a senior executive team at the Pampered Chef, okay? That's really, really, really important. So, I guess what I want to throw out there is, I know is this question, can we count on you, right? Can we count on each and every one of you to inspire and influence your team so that each and every single team in this organization goes green, right? And please don't wait till the 31st of the month.
Yeah, let's not give me a heart attack.
Is there a date, Claudia, that you put out there for everybody?
Well, we're shooting for the 15th. We're doing a big push by the 15th. So at least like most of it should be in by the 15th.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. So goes green by the 15th. So this is the weekend coming up to create that to happen and to make that to happen. So what can you do, right, to get your team on board? What are you doing to get your team on board right now? And so I can throw a couple ideas out there, but I would really love some of you to chat with Claudia and I and share ideas with other team members on what you can do. So I'll start, right? The very first thing is realize your role as the leader, that your team does look up to you, and will respond to you. And so as the leader, the very first thing that you want to inspire them to do is to go green by 15. And word choices that I might use if I were in your shoes would be go green by 15. So when you explain to your team, what does it mean to go green by 15? Well, it simply means that you go active by the 15th of the month. And whether for some of you that's one show by the 15th of the month, for some of you it'll be 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 shows by the 15th of the month. But whatever it is that you want to happen, go green by 15. And so I would tell you to make sure that you're painting that picture for them, what it means, what it looks like, that there are options. You could have 1 show or 21 shows. But the fact that when everybody's working together towards this goal of going green by the 15th, as a team, we are going to be much more likely to reach our team goal by the time the month closes. So ask yourself, every one of you, ask yourself right now, are you doing that with your team? Are you just praying? Right? Are you just praying that, oh yeah, she said she'd have something, so she will? One of the things we talked about, and Claudia actually talked about at Lead Plus, was how do we create culture in our organization for this whole idea of teamwork and monthly activity? And Claudia can't do it by herself, right? I know that she's doing it. I know she's sending that message. But are you as directors picking up on that and doing exactly the same thing? Because my guess is there's a whole bunch of you sitting here right now that director level is great, but advanced director level would be even better. And if you're already advanced director, you might even be looking at senior director or beyond, right? I see Casey's head going up and down, a couple other heads smiling, right? Thinking about what that possibility and what it could look like. And guys, it's so much easier right now with a small organization to create the culture you want. One of the reasons why this team has been so successful is because when Claudia really went on the mission to grow this organization, to build an amazing team as part of Pampered Chef, a team that really affected the Pampered Chef as a whole, and you do every single day, right? She began creating culture early in the process. You have to do that too. It can't be only her. So how are you creating culture in your organization, right, for teamwork and monthly activity? Anybody want to share some things that you're doing right now to create that to happen?
Don't be scared.
All right, who is that?
Just unmute yourself.
So one thing we've been doing is on our team group page, I have created like a thermometer with the amount that we're aiming for as far as sales goes. And we're keeping track of our little bricks on who we have recruited and how many more we want to recruit throughout the year. And they're actually getting quite good at calling me out if I don't update it right away. They actually did that to me this morning. So they wanted to know where we were in sales. And as far as the Green by 15, just some incentives and recognition. So that seems to be making quite a difference.
So what if all of you grab that same idea, the same thermometer, pick whatever you want, a thermometer works for me, and every time you posted that and added to as the sales are rising towards your team sales goal, underneath it you say, and I personally want to thank all of these leaders who are already active this month. And so you tag them in no particular order, right? Not by sales. Because when you tag by sales or you list them in order of sales, the message you're sending is these people have done more than these people. These people are more important than these people. And so you want to make sure that when you're talking activity, you're tracking the success, as Casey did with sales. I love that you're doing it that way, Casey. And then tag them underneath who has already done that. That's awesome. What other things are you doing?
Me specifically or the team?
No, the team. So let's
Okay.
give another voice. Come on, don't be afraid of me, guys. I don't bite, really.
I'll go. I am.
Okay, Chris.
I am personally just making sure that I keep updating our group with. I want them to know what our goal is, first of all, and just our monthly goal in general, what it is as far as recruiting and sales and things like that. But then for March specifically, I always do a monthly drawing for everybody. Whoever has the highest sales at the end of the month, they always get a prize from me. But for March, I'm offering, as soon as we went green as a team by the 15th, which we already have. I think we're at like 9,000 in sales already. But then I'm going to do a drawing for a really good spring product, like a pan or something really awesome. And that's kept them motivated. And I have a calendar that I'm using. I think somebody had that great idea of using a calendar. And so everybody has their own little emojis on the calendar with how many parties they have. And whoever has the most parties in March is also getting a prize. So I think giving them something is always a good incentive, and then just keeping it updated, on the group. Okay, guys, here's the updates. Look who's got the most parties or something like that. I mean, I'm just always showing recognition for the people that are really, participating. Yeah. And it helps motivate the others, because whenever I posted that, somebody else will send me a message and go, I have 2 closing tonight, or I have, so they get all excited and everything because they want to be a part of it as well. So
that is awesome. I love that you're recognizing success. I love that you're recognizing the steps along the way. Something that you might want to think about, and all of you might want to think about, is how do you make sure that those individuals who are on your team, who aren't going to have the most shows, who aren't going to have the most sales, are also feeling like they're an important piece of the pie. And you don't have to do that by giving them something. Okay, I've been 33 years in this business, and here's what I know. Recognition always goes farther than an award. Always. Just recognize, and when you recognize their success, you're going to be amazed at every level. So all of you, I would invite you to think about how can you continue to send the message, and I'll just kind of go into role, right? So that you can kind of hear, what it might sound like if you were my team. And I would say, so far, we have $9,000 in sales coming in our organization, and I am just so proud of this team. I know that we're going to reach our sales goal and beyond, and I want to thank each and every one of you who've turned it in order, who has a goal to go green by 15, who's already been green by 15. I want to thank each and every one of you, because each one of you is an important part to making this goal a reality. And in our organization, we believe that the success of one leads to the success of all. And everybody makes a difference. Okay? So I'm going to come on a roll. That's all recorded now. And I have a feeling Claudia got it, because she can probably send you these exact word choices. Because have you ever heard me say these words before, Claudia?
Yep.
Yes, a number of times. Because they work. They really do. And you really want everybody to feel included in creating that to happen. So I love it. I love it. Anybody else have any other ideas on how they can? Well, we talked about green by 15, right? And I'm sure you're recognizing that, and you might be sending them green by 15 postcards, things like that. What about the last 2 weeks of the month? So now the 15th of the month comes and goes. St. Patrick's Day comes and goes. We put out a post that says, the luck of the Irish has been with us so far. There's a pot of gold at the end of our rainbow. How high can we go? What kinds of things can you do at the end of the month to be sure that you're continue to create that success, right? Because if you all go green by the 15th, the question is, how high can we go, right? That really is it. So what can you do at the end of the month to continue to create that success? Have you thought about that yet? Let's hear another voice. Come on, guys. Christy, you and that little puppy dog, is that a Cavalier?
It's a Cocker Spaniel, my son's dog.
You know what? My son has a Cavalier King Charles that's a cross with a Cocker, and it looks very similar to your dog, and I'm like in love with him. They love to be on your lap, don't they? They just love to be loved.
Yes.
Look at him. He knows we're talking about him.
Yeah. Pen sitting here watching and trying to eat my pen, so.
So, Christy, what kinds of things do you think you could do at the end of the month to create?
Well, I personally, I haven't been really good about doing the green by 15, if we're being honest. So I'm going to kind of offer an incentive for the rest of the month, like for my team anyways, like if you're, as long as you're green and like being an active part of the team, then I'll give away a spring product or something for them just because I'm trying to promote this month. So.
Okay, so first of all, yes, we do need to be honest because self-awareness is such an important thing. And I'm sure that, Christy, you are not the only person on this call who has not picked up the green by 15. So let me throw out a question to you or to anyone else and just be honest, right? Our job, Claudia's job is to help you build your business. So if you're seeing this happen in your organization, any of you on this call, but you haven't picked up on it yet, the question I want to ask you is why? What's holding you back?
Well, I've done it before, but I'm just not very thorough at doing the same thing every month. So sticking with it's an issue for me that I'm working on.
And you just said some magic right there, girlfriend, right? Your businesses, every single one of them need to be on autopilot. I have to tell you, Claudia has been on, has gone to 3 Lead Plus seminars. It's a 3-time graduate of Lead Plus, right? And this time she went for the very 4th time. And when it was all over, I said to her, I hope you found this valuable for you as well, because she did such a great job, but I wanted her to feel like, you know, the time spent wasn't just about giving, that she was able to get something in return. And she had actually saw a new segment that we did, and we really talked about the habits of the business that we put into place, and how do we, whoops, there we go.
I had it ready to talk about, so go at it. It was my aha moment.
Yay. So we talked about piloting your personal business, but there's also other things besides your personal business, right? Personal business, you have to autopilot your bookings, your host coaching, your selling skills, recruiting, and your customer care. But as a director, there are additional things that we need to do, and one of those things is how do we inspire and influence our team and help them understand, right? And so Christy, what you're doing is classic, what I call launch and abandon, right? You launch it and you abandon it because you think you have to do something else, or you abandon it because you just haven't gotten into the habit of making sure you're doing it month after month after month. The way you create culture for success in your organization, whether it's with teamwork and activity, whether it's fast-paced recruiting growth, career plan advancement, is to repeat the same behaviors over and over and over. And that's what we mean by autopilot, right? If you're not having success in your personal business with bookings, then you need to take a look at, are you on autopilot? Have you mastered these skills of booking, host coaching, good shows, selling skills, recruiting, and customer care so well that they just come naturally to you, and that you always know that your business is on stable ground? And these are basic skills that we all need to learn to do and do well, and, if you will, put on autopilot. I have a feeling Claudia will be talking to each of you about autopilot in the months to come, and some of the things that you should be putting into autopilot to ensure the success that you're looking for. But back to your team in the last 2 weeks, okay? The last 2 weeks of the month, right? So if you haven't done a Green by 15, then you need to have a 100% activity challenge in your organization. Okay, every single one of you. Once you get off of Green by 15, now you need to recognize those who were and then remind them of the 100% activity challenge. Right? Our goal in our team is that everybody's active every single month. Why? Because when you're active, you're reaching for your dreams and goals, you're earning the income you came into Pampered Chef to earn, and the success of one person in our team really does determine the success of all. I believe that with my heart. Right? Now, some of you are thinking right now, you're looking at your teams right now, right? And you're thinking, that's just not real, Judy. That's just not reality. I could put out a 100% activity challenge, but why bother? Because it's not going to happen anyway. So let me tell you the difference between reality and expectations, okay? Expectations are something we set for the people around us who we're working with and coaching, right? And our expectations always need to be set high. We need to set the bar high, because when we set the bar high, people will reach for it, and some will go over that bar, and some will come in just shy of the bar, and some will come in lower. We know that. But if you, instead of setting the bar up here, high, if you only set it here, how many people do you think would get here? Not as many, because you didn't set the bar high enough. So 100% activity goal is setting the bar high. Now, some of you might look at your activity right now and you might think, well, I'm only running 35 or 40% activity. Maybe I should just set it for 65%. Does that work? No. Why doesn't it work, Casey?
Well, I've actually done that before. You know, we have $5,000 to reach as a team, and they were hitting that, and they were becoming accustomed to hitting that. And I said, okay, let's strive for something bigger. And it went up to 6,000. I said, okay, let's not play with small numbers here. I said, give me a bigger number. And we set it for 12, and we've hit that a few times. So instantly they're like, oh my God, we can really do this. So I've seen that my consultants that weren't performing before want to be a part of that. So we've kept it at 12 right now, but you know, pretty soon I think it's going to go up. So
20K team, Casey, woohoo!
We can do it.
Go for it. So here's the reason why you don't want to set it for 65. If I said to all of you, right, I'm looking at 9 faces right now, right? If I said to all 9 of you, 65% of you need to be active this week for you to reach our goal, which part are you? The 35 or the 65? Get it? The minute I said 65% of we were going for 65% activity, I just gave 35% of the people permission not to work. And what if 50% of the people decide they're part of that 35%? You're screwed, basically. So that's why you have to set it for 100, right? And then you have to recognize that along the way. So you set it for 100, knowing the reality probably is not going to happen. The reality won't look like 100. So expectations, having higher expectation creates a higher level, a higher percentage of reality. A better reality, if you will. Does that make sense? Anybody confused by what I just said? So coming out of Green by 15, we're going for 100% activity in our organization. We're already at 9,000. How high can we go? We're already at 4,000. How high can we go, right? You have to be prepared to put the next thing out there and recognize the next thing. And for heaven's sake, let them know that the organization is going towards a big goal this month, and that you want to, as a team, that they want to contribute to that. Each team wants to contribute to that. All right? And I think Claudia might have a couple fun little things up her sleeve for the last week of the month. to help you with some of that too, right? We do products of the week. We put out booking blitzes. We challenge them to add, it's on the 15th of the month, challenge them to simply add 2 virtual and 1 live show in by the end of the month. Could be magic. Realistically, has every single one of your team members booked a show to be held in their own home by the end of the month on the first month of a catalog? Have you? Right? And then do it again in April. Because you book a show in your own home, or you book your own virtual show, half of the people you invite are going to attend if you're lucky, and the other half could come in April if you wanted to. But we're not talking about April now, right? All right, so can we count on every single one of you to take some new steps to get your team on board to making this happen? Yes, raise your hand if we can count on you. I want to see it. Make sure you're all paying attention to me. Yay! You got to do new things, guys. If you always do what you've always done, you're always going to get. It's just sitting down and praying doesn't work. Doing something works, right? You can't just hope they're going to do it.
Actually, say that again, because I love that phrase. That's one of my favorites. If you do what, go ahead, say that again, because I love that one.
If you always do what you've always done, you're always going to get what you've always got, right? So if you want to change something in your organization, right? If you are running 35% activity, 40% activity right now, and you want to increase your activity, if you keep doing what you're doing right now, you're not going to get any different results. You can sit back and hope and pray, but you got to do something different. You've got to create culture. You have to know what you want. You have to teach what you want. Like I'm teaching you right now, like Claudia teaches you all the time, right? And you have to live it yourself. You got to keep it in front of them. You can't launch and abandon, right? You got to be willing to, and these are not hard things. Never once did I tell you to spend a dime. Because I really don't believe in it, honestly. I believe that we have amazing things in our career plan right now, and that there are some things we can incentivize if we want to along the way, but recognition goes so long.
Is there anyone that's tried something different and gotten different, better results?
Any other ideas? I'm just checking my time. Am I good on time, Claudia?
You're good. Okay. Has anyone done anything stretched out of their comfort zone? Anything that might have worked?
So I'm stretching far beyond my comfort zone this month. And last month was great. I mean, we made $7,000 in sales, and this month, we're not by 15, but we're better off than we were last month. So I feel like we're in a good place, but I am constantly working toward advanced director. So I just sent out a message I have 3 people on my team who joined but haven't done anything since their launch party. So I just sent them a message and I said, hey, are we getting a paycheck this month? New Spring Products, it's a perfect month to hold a spring virtual launch party, and I could run it for you. So if I could get those 3 to run a virtual launch, a spring launch party, because they're from January, that's a minimum $600 that we could get. And also hosted a bookings training for my team just on our group page. I went live and they all were on and they asked questions about or told me what they were struggling with, and we talked about ways to get more bookings, because that was the biggest thing I think is my team just didn't have the bookings that they wanted to have. So I just posted my top 20 ways to get bookings for them, and I think it's important to just keep encouraging them and showing them that you are constantly working. Like they didn't know about the 2, 2, and 2 with customer care follow-up. So just making sure that your team knows what you're doing, because you are the leader. They're going to do what you're doing. So I think it's important to make sure they know and understand what you are doing.
I love that. Love that. And you're so right, Nikki. You are so 100% correct. So I'm going to personally challenge you and everybody on this call to go onto your list and find 3 to 5 people in your organization that you know that you're going to have to poke in the derriere to get them moving, right? And message them first like Nikki did, and then pick up the phone and call them. Or invite them to a quick Zoom chat, right? Say, can you come to a 10-minute Zoom chat with me and talk to them this way? And then ask them those questions live and in person, and let them know that you can help them, you know, create the success that they're looking for, right? Take the time to build a relationship in the next step. Because Nikki just reached out to them, but what happens if they don't reach back? Do we just like say, oh, well? No, we got to reach out, figure out a different way to reach out. Because sometimes just building that relationship and talking to them. Sometimes I text people and I say, can I just have 5 minutes of your time really quick? I have something I really want to share with you, right? I have something I really want to share with you. So you're not going after it like, I want you to hold shows. You're going after it like, just give me 5 minutes. There's something really exciting I want to share with you. And then when you get that 5 minutes, here's the rule of thumb. Start off with a compliment. Pay a compliment. So Nikki, the compliment you could pay, say you did that, right? The compliment you could pay is, do you realize that when you started your business, your first show was $800 in sales? Your first 2 shows added up to over $1,200 in sales, right? Even if it's not impressive, they're new, they don't know. Make it impressive. Compliment them, right? Compliment them on what they did and ask them what they want next. What do you see in your, you know, what would you like to achieve this month? So don't tell them, ask them, what would you like to achieve this month? How can I help you do that? After they talk a while, then give them the idea. You know, I'm happy to partner with you to do X, Y, or Z. But if you can get them telling you what they want, you are 90% there. The mistake many directors make is we're always telling instead of asking. Because once they own it, it becomes theirs. All right? So I want to close this segment by actually asking every single one of you a question, right? How many of you see yourself moving up in the Pampered Chef career plan between now and July 1st, or even by the end of the year? Yay, Casey. Look at yay. I love seeing those hands. Darla's working to move up. I know that, Darla, right? You are moving to be a director. And I just want to let you know that one of the things I really want you all to be thinking about is, I think sometimes at Pampered Chef, you know, we get to that director level. We're so excited to be there, right? And it's kind of like, yes, I arrived. I did it. I'm a director. And then we go into what I like to call save and protect mode. You know what save and protect is? It means all we're doing is working with the people we brought in because we want to save them and protect what we already built. And here's something I want you to think about. The way you're going to continue to grow and build your team so that you are not only being paid at your level this month, right? I mean, the goal is everybody's being paid as Director Green, right? Advanced Director Green, you all want to be paid at your level this month. But I'm going to put out there, you don't just want it this month. You want it in April, May, June, July, you want it every single month of the year, right? And the reason why that doesn't happen is because you go into save and protect instead of grow and thrive. Save and protect or grow and thrive. What sounds better? Right? Grow and thrive. Right? So how do you do that? You just continue to do what you did to get to that director level. You partner with Claudia to identify people on your team who might want more. You offer them the same thing Claudia offered each and every single one of you to be a director. Because what will happen next is you'll move to upper level directorship. And I'm going to tell you, I'm just going to be honest with you, that's where serious money starts in this business. Director money is good, but it's not live on, quit my job money. It's not. Upper level directorship, advanced, senior, executive, senior executive director, national, that's career money, right? You start, full-time money starts at the advanced level in my mind. And that extra percentage that we put out there doesn't sound like a lot. But the fact of the matter is it's huge when it comes to your income. So don't let that little bonus, 3% to 4%, that one little percentage that doesn't sound like much kid you, because that 1% could double your income in 90 days. Double your director check in 90 days. And if you don't believe me, call Claudia, okay, because I'm going into chairman's circle. Call Claudia and say, how does that work? She's so confident that I can double my income by moving to advanced. Can you show me the math on that? And Claudia can show you the math on that, right? Because it absolutely positively can be done, and we have people doing it all the time. Don't let the 1% fool you, right? And so I want to really encourage all of you to go into grow and thrive mode. Get out of save and protect. Go out there, share this business that you love with other people, right? I know there are systems in place, and for goodness sake, she just taught all of our Lead Plus leaders what she's doing in her organization. So I know every single one of you have access to systems that are in place in this organization that you literally can just feed people into. Just feed them in, right? From the opportunity events to groups and all kinds of things that are going on here. I know that you've been trained on how to get new consultants started successfully, and that you all work as a team to make sure that that is in place. I know that you have team meetings in place to continue to support our consultants and also our consultants like Darla who want to move up to the next level. You are all in an amazing organization. Take advantage of what's out there. Take advantage of Claudia's leadership and her knowledge. You know how she closed the meeting? It was so moving. Like literally people were crying. She closed the meeting by letting everyone know that her joy in this business was helping other people get more from their Pampered Chef business. That she came into this business on a win, like it was little part-time money. And kind of her husband challenged her to think about it a little bit differently. Matter of fact, I think you said something, unless you're making $500 a month, don't even talk to me about it. I think it was something like that, right? She never dreamed it could be what it is, what it's turned into for her. But what she shared with 85 leaders, with the leadership at Pampered Chef, Jean Jonas, Doreen Grass, people who were there in that room when she was speaking, was that her joy came from helping each and every single one of you move up in level and make your business what she knows it can be and what you want it to be, right? Whatever that is, you all get to set your own goals. And then she told everyone in that room, she promised them that when they move up a level as a result of being part of Lead Plus, that she would be at national conference right there, cheering them on every single step of the way. Challenge them to come up to her and say, hey, look it, and she would be there for them, celebrating with them, because that's truly her joy. And you've got her in your own back pocket, right? They got to have her for what, 2 days? You get her every single day of your life. Take advantage of that. And set big goals, and don't be afraid to go after them. And the big goal, the big hairy scary goal we're after right now is national executive team. But in order to do that, we have to cross this hurdle first, right? We have to cross this hurdle of keeping that senior executive team structure solid. And that's what I'm challenging every one of you to do this week, next week, between now and March 30th, okay, 31st, I think, this month, right? There's a pot of gold at the end of all your rainbows. I know it. So Claudia, my darling, I'm going to turn that over to you, okay?
Yeah, thank you.
And,
that was great.
oh, my God. You're so welcome. It's my pleasure to be to have been asked. I appreciate it. Actually, when I asked Claudia to speak, she said, "Well, if I come and speak to Lead Plus, will you come to my team?" And I said, "Yes, of course I will come."
Gotta work it.
I see. She's always thinking of you guys, and it's always my joy to be on a call like this. So thank you for inviting me, Claudia.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you, Judy.
You too. Bye, everybody. Have
Bye.
a great day. Go make more great plans for success this month and next month and the month after the month after. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye. Wow, that was pretty good, huh? Anyone have did anyone pick anything up? Any aha moments? Anything you're going to start implementing?
I am definitely going to stop with the awards and stuff and just make sure I recognize everybody and everybody as a whole, not just because I tend to call out the people that, sell the most, have the most parties. And she really, I hit home for me because I'm bad about that. So
yeah, every single person is important, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And I've learned the same thing with that too. So I've tried not to incentivize quite as much. We've been doing Happy Mail a lot more, as I know Claudia is doing, and they're responding to that. They're posting pictures. I just sent out a little rock that said "Believe" with some daisies. Sorry, we have construction going on, and some daisies, to represent them growing. So they were super excited about that. So
yeah, I think people do a lot more for recognition than for like a $5 gift card, right? Because we never get recognized for anything other than paying for Chef, right? Nobody recognizes me for doing a great job scrubbing the toilet, right? So that goes a long way, and it doesn't have to necessarily cost money. Could just be creating a cute graphic or just picking up a picture from Google Images, right? And them seeing their name somewhere. So absolutely. Anyone else want to share?
Hey, Claudia, it's Sam.
Hey, Sam.
So I'm kind of right there with Christy. I kind of launched and abandoned. So my goal is, again, to start growing and thriving some more. I've already added two. I've added two this month.
Yeah, and that was one of the things I spoke to too, right? So at the beginning of the year, some of you may have done a vision board, or some of you may have put out a recruiting goal, right? But what happens is we put it out once and we're like, oh, well, it didn't get the reaction I thought it was going to get. So it goes somewhere in the back. But, even as far as, you see, sometimes you might see our team struggling or whatever. Do I know we might reach 100 recruits this month? Probably not, but am I still putting it out there? Yes, right? So you're still got to keep putting it out there, because when you put it out there, you start believing it, right? If you're hiding it, you're not believing that that can happen, right? So it goes back to having that vision board for you and your team, whatever that might be like, right? Maybe you want to be the best director you can be. Maybe you want to be an advanced director, whatever that might be like, right? Or that recruiting goal, right? Maybe, we don't want to set a big, scary yearly recruiting goal. Okay, well, let's take March, April, and May and just set a 90-day goal, right? And just keep it in front of them in smaller steps than just this huge goal that everybody's like, yeah, there's like no way, right? So let's just go by, like Casey said, our goal this month, 5 new team members. Let's just go with it monthly, right? But you have to keep it in front of them, which is huge. Because if you don't do it, they for sure aren't doing it either, right? So awesome. Who else? Anyone else? Anything else we're going to do this week to get going? Hi.
I like the fact that Judy's mentioned, keep going after the 15th, 100% activity. I think that's something that we all kind of do. We strive for that green by 15, but then we all go, then what? So running a launch party for those that aren't active and reaching out for those that aren't active and, making them feel important, because we all constantly tell everybody how great they do because they hosted or they got parties or they got the sales. So keeping everybody involved, I think, is a good thing too.
Yeah, and I didn't connect the two dots, and I was like, you know what? that's a good thing. Yeah, like after the 15th, right? So let's all together keep pushing the 15th. They could all still, you know, collect some new spring catalog orders. They could all have a live virtual party launch with the new spring line, right? They could all collect some orders right now, even if they have nothing, help them push by 15th. And then if they need to add an extra couple days, whoop-de-doo, right? Now they're green by the 17th. But way better than for everyone to wait, you know, by the end of the month, and for them to have a paycheck by the 21st as well. So definitely. Anyone else?
Jody says she has a list of ideas too, but her microphone isn't working on her laptop.
All right. You got to post that list, Jody. Post a list. Yay. Okay, so I did post, we have a first screen directed team, and the Woods Warriors went into the pod. I love the idea of the pod. It's so cute. And so I visualized it and put them in the pod. So, you know, tag your team members and rally them and be a little competitive, right? Be like, who's it going to be next? Because there's quite a few of you that are at like 2,000-3,000 already, right? So push your team and be like, you know what, we are fighters. We're going to be the second one, or we're going to be the third one, right? And push them, because I think sometimes a little friendly competition really gets people fired up, right? It really does. So, who is there anyone that feels a little terrified about this month, and it is only the 12th, and maybe we need to brainstorm a little bit on how to keep growing, how to keep adding sales this month? Everybody good? Okay. Well, just like Judy said, I am here for you, okay? I heard someone say something to me last week, and they were like, well, you're Claudia Bazaar now. You're like the rock star. But let me tell you guys that I am still, look here, wet hair, right? No makeup. I am still regular Claudia Bazaar to you guys, and will always be, okay? So I am just a phone call away. I will always make you guys my priority. And just know that you have access to my cell phone 24/7. Maybe not after 10 p.m. at night, but you know what I mean. So I'm just regular, good old Claudia Bazaar, right? So call me, reach out to me. I am here to help every single one of you guys with whatever it may look like for you, all right? Whether it's keeping your title growing, whatever, promoting, not promoting, whatever, right? It's your goals and dreams, not mine. So, but I'm here to help all of you guys. Alrighty, well, let's rock the next couple weeks. Let's come together as a team like we already are. And I'm doing my best to add the missing directors. So you guys just make sure you're green, and we should be all good to go, right? But again, if you have someone that, I know I'm working with several of you guys to promote directors on your team as well. But if you have anyone that you see a spark in, you know, reach out to me, and I would love to reach out to them as well and start working with you guys too. So, alrighty, well, let's make it a great week. Bye, guys.